you know, we have a lot of these debates around where is our place. If we think prison is a bad thing and prison is trauma inducing, are we feeding into the beast by being a part of the system? And I think what we've been starting to do within my team, especially my board, we think a lot about what could alternatives look like. If we're now thinking about what's the next 10 years of 507, the next 10 years of 507 might be us coming out of the prison estate in order to stay authentic to our value system and come back in the community and think about what are the alternatives, because there's already a lot of kind of process and progress being made, especially taking children out of the criminal justice system. But the ones that tend to stay in are the ones that are kind of more violent. Or we can get all the non-violent ones out, but I'm interested in, okay, so what do we do with the violent ones? How can we get rid of children in prison? How can we stop sending children to prison for life? Because after 5 years, they're not really getting too much out of these, you know. After 10 years, they're definitely not getting anything out of these sentences. You know, we're probably detriment to society by these long sentences. So I'm really doing some soul searching and some kind of critical analysis around where's our place? What is the work that we're doing? Because I don't want to do the work just for the sake of doing the work or just for the sake that the work looks good or feels good. It actually has to make an impact in this world. And you know, we had a conversation a little while ago around change and the type of change we want to bring. And what I've noticed about kind of being, especially within the criminal justice sector in particular, is we become very comfortable with small change, and everything is about don't think too big, don't have a too big a vision. We want small changes, we want these little steps, let's go for the little things. And what I've started to understand, and you know, this is my personal opinion, is that we come into this sector with all these kind of big hopes and dreams, and we then start to appease the sector. Like we shrink ourselves and we shrink our hopes and our dreams because it becomes so hard to create systemic change. That actually, do we become part of the problem by having such small successes? You know, is someone being called by their first name instead of "Oi, you" really a win if we came into this sector thinking children shouldn't be sent to prison in the first instance? And how do we keep these big visions? Because for me, it's starting to feel like we shrink ourselves, we celebrate these small wins in order to kind of appease a system that really fundamentally does not care about us and does not care about these young people, does not care about our community. Because if they really fundamentally cared, the changes would be a lot bigger.